And I think tonight she did a heck of a job of making the adjustment and scoring the ball when she saw the opportunity. She took full advantage of it. Did a good job of valuing possessions, and that's a bright spot for us. And of course, we had a decent start, that kept us in the game. An issue that we have to take care of, and we'll do a little bit more of it to make sure that we are capable of executing down the stretch. We have to walk out on the floor and know what's on the board. You have to walk out and execute what's on the board. So that's.
Did you hear about the fan who went after Caitlin Clark? Or Teresa Weatherspoon getting fired? The WNBA is blowing up right now, and not in a good way. Let's talk about what's really going on. As it happens, this tale involves more than just one irate fan. There's a problem with the WNBA that you would not anticipate: Clark. In fact, several players are supporting the newcomer in their own league against her. However, why? You would think Caitlin Clark's accomplishment would make everyone in the WNBA happy, wouldn't you? Not quite so quickly, though. The rookie sensation is at the center of an odd tension that is developing in the league. According to Rachel Dementa, who spilled the tea, several players are blatantly envious of Clark. Is it really true? They're furious with her for drawing so much attention to the league. The absurd element is that Clark's fan base is being held accountable for the poisonous atmosphere. Come on, people. Even so, how is that even logical? But hear this: Clark isn't the only one. In the WNBA, there is a general trend of experienced players pursuing novices.
We have to walk out on the floor and know what's on the board. You have to walk out and execute what's on the board. So that's did a good job of valuing possessions, and that's a bright spot for us. And of course, we had a decent start, that kept us in the game.
Recall the events surrounding Chennedy Carter. How about Boston's Aaliyah? It seems as though there is an unspoken rule requiring newcomers to pay their dues or something like. Christy Sides, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, acknowledged that veterans frequently play extremely aggressively against newcomers. I guess they're attempting to establish who's in charge. But Clark, she is not going to give up. Don't retaliate. Just let them hit you, she advised bluntly. That right there is some real mental toughness. What's truly amazing about all of this, In actuality, Clark's success is fantastic for the WNBA. She's attracting a ton of attention and new fans. However, it's also the root of all these issues that are occurring in the background. It appears as though the league is undecided about whether or not to expand. There are more twists in the WNBA than in a pretzel factory. The Caitlin Clark story is linked to the dismissal of a Hall of Fame coach. What's actually happening at the Chicago Sky behind the scenes? Women's basketball veteran Teresa Weatherspoon was recently let go from her role as head coach of the Chicago Sky. Wow, what a surprise! It's the worst possible timing, coinciding with all of this Caitlin Clark turmoil. This is where things become really fascinating, though. In the midst of a game, Weatherspoon had just defended Chennedy Carter's harsh hit on Clark. Imagine this then. When Carter charges Clark with a flagrant foul, Weatherspoon responds, "Hey, it's just part of the game." Isn't she attempting to support her player? But then, wham! She has lost her job. Just a coincidence? Not in my opinion. People are curious about what's actually going on in the WNBA in light of this whole issue. Is this a one-coach situation, or is something more significant taking place? Although the league is meant to be all about empowering women, there appears to be a lot of drama going on behind the scenes. And here's the thing. Angel Reese, the famous LSU student, is utterly devastated over Weatherspoon's termination. She stated, "I'm literally lost for words knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life." That is a lot of weight. It demonstrates the degree to which Weatherspoon influenced these players. But there's still more. The Chicago Sky also faces additional issues. They were just hit with a $5,000 fine for their players' non-compliance with media guidelines. For this crew, everything seems to be coming apart at the same time. One must ask themselves, is this simply a case of bad luck? Or is there a major issue with the way the WNBA is now operating? Do they give their players and coaches the proper support? Or is everything that has happened with Weatherspoon simply the beginning? It goes beyond a single coach losing her position. Many have serious concerns about the WNBA as a result of this entire situation. For example, how are their coaches treated? Do they offer them adequate assistance? What about the players then? There appears to be a great deal of tension beneath the surface.
And I think tonight she did a heck of a job of making the adjustment and scoring the ball when she saw the opportunity. She took full advantage of it. Excel off the ball. She's a scorer. She can score the ball, whether it's inside, outside, an issue that we have to take care of. And we'll do a little bit more of it to make sure that we are capable of executing down the stretch.
As the league struggles with internal strife, an external storm is gathering. The cost of Caitlin Clark's quick ascent is something no one anticipated. Welcome to the unpleasant aspects of being a WNBA star: death threats, stalkers, and personal security. Being a basketball sensation seems to be all about the spotlight. Isn't that right? False. For Clark, the game has evolved beyond simply eluding opponents on the floor. Off the court, she has to cope with an entirely different level of defense. People, let's talk about personal security. Yes, Clark requires security in order to engage in her favorite pastime. However, why? As it happens, stardom isn't always as glamorous as it seems. A terrifying wave of hostility has been directed towards Clark. We're not merely referring to offensive tweets or jeers from the stands. Death threats and accusations of stalking are severe matters. That would be enough to give anyone the creeps. And here's the thing, Rachel Dementa revealed the shocking truth about how awful it is. She claimed it would be too much to handle if Clark discussed every nasty remark she encounters in interviews. That's poisonous. It goes beyond simple trash talk. This is where things start to go horribly wrong. I thought the WNBA was all about empowering women. However, they have a sensational rookie who is essentially under attack. Like, hey kid, welcome to the big leagues. This is your bulletproof vest and your jersey. However, it goes beyond Clark alone. A more serious issue facing the WNBA is being brought to light by this entire debacle. Player safety is a serious matter, particularly in light of the high-profile rookies who are expected to disrupt the league. Though at what cost? These players are drawing in a ton of new fans and attention. Another famous basketball player, Angel Reese, is also vocal about this. She's expressing what we're all thinking, which is that employees should feel secure at work. People shouldn't have to worry about sexist or racist remarks constantly trending on social media. I mean, seriously, can we just concentrate on the game? Thus, the WNBA is currently facing a serious issue. They must quickly ascertain how to safeguard their players. These days, it goes beyond simply configuring security at games. In the digital age, being famous comes with a lot of strange stuff, like dealing with stalkers and online harassment. Here's the real concern. The league may suffer significant consequences if they fail to address this issue promptly. Consider it. If they're continually watching over their shoulder, who will want to play? If they're worried about violating restraining orders, how can they concentrate on smashing records?